Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Yeah. Oh my God. We have to do two today.
Well, we do. And then we're doing one later in the week. That brings us into the new year.
20 minutes worth of conversation. Tops. It's a Sunday morning.
I know. How many sets did you do this week?
I didn't do many.
Oh, yeah.
I took off this weekend because
Does
a friend.
Does that mean 5? What does that mean? I didn't do many.
3, I think.
Okay.
It was pretty
light?
Yeah, I stayed home with my kid a little bit more, and then
it's the holiday.
Yeah, we watched it. We watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Still holds up.
Of course it does.
It's so perfect, you know.
Yeah.
We all feel like misfit. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It's just so perfect.
It is perfect because it speaks to us. Nobody feeling like they fit in.
Then and now and Abominable Snowmen and and Yukon. We all have a Yukon Jack in our life that's running around with an ice pick.
That
trying
guy
to
was
save
Bearded
you.
Youth Movement before Bearded Youth Movement.
Kyle Kinane. Yeah, so it was cool, and then a friend went through had a parental loss, so I was I didn't want to be like, hey, I got to leave and do a set, so I didn't have a
right.
So yeah,
it's been that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was trying to channel my inner Laurie Kilmartin, and so I did 2 sets on Wednesday, and then 3 sets last night.
Dude, there can only be one of us at a time, so when I recede. My soul jumps into you and goes, get me on stage.
Together, we're one whole woman.
That's right. I'm a mom, but not married.
Exactly. I'm married, no kids.
We're 104-year-old woman.
Exactly. And it was a crazy week. I saw a lot of great comedy, and I saw a lot of mediocre comedy.
Yeah.
And all audiences have gone south, right? Everybody's gone.
Right.
Because it's the holiday. And
they've gone to San Diego for the winter?
Right. Maybe they took a cruise like idiots. I don't know. What do you think of cruises? I'm against.
As a comic?
As a person, as a human.
I don't know. There's too much potential diarrhea. That's been my impression from reading the news.
There's all kinds of potential excess, including diarrhea.
And murder, of course. Every other Dateline is somebody being pushed off a cruise ship while they're drunk. So I didn't mean for us to start off as an invective against the cruise ship industry, but you know what? Let's do it.
It's true. Why not? And I'm doing the Nerd Cruise in March, the Joko, Jonathan Colton cruise.
Oh, so you set me up to slam the industry and then announce you're participating in
what
it.
I'm doing is a plug. No, it's the only. It sounds great because it only sounds great because it's like 5,000 genuine nerds.
Yeah,
and then there's a place where I can hide.
Yeah,
and I need that because it's 10 days.
Right.
I mean, what I've always not wanted about.
Wait, when is it?
In March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so what I've never wanted to. You know how you do a week in a tiny town, and you're the comic, and
yes,
so every banana head in the world has to fucking tell you their racist, sexist joke. Mm-hmm. That is how I've always pictured cruise ships. With maybe it's current, maybe it's accurate, we don't know. But I think this won't be because first of all, it's going to be all nerds.
Yeah,
doesn't mean that there aren't jackass nerds in the world. But there's a place
I think there's
hide.
a few.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
What the heck? I mean, why wouldn't there be? They're people.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I don't know. I see them on Twitter quite frequently in my mentions.
Oh, right. Yeah. You are being berated by horrible nerds.
Every once in a while.
Once in a while.
We're taping this on the 18th, and tomorrow the Electoral College votes.
A chance to be disappointed again.
But what if the world moves and we're like 2 podcasts behind? That's why.
Oh, right.
Right. I doubt it will, but I mean, I've doubted everything from the start. So
right. I was born in doubt, so I can't
doubt Wisconsin.
That's where it is. Go Lions. That would be there.
The doubting Lions.
Right, I don't know.
You guys aren't the Thomases.
Ooh, Catholicism. Boom.
Bang.
And not a waste. So
Yeah, it all led up to that one joke.
okay, so last night I don't know why. I should probably start with I did the new Nerd Melt.
Right.
And then I did
Here. Okay.
Here at Meltdown. I did
Right.
the new Wednesday Nerd Melt show.
Okay.
And then I did a show at the Venice Underground.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
Oh,
done
Bronson. Yeah, Bronson.
Bronson's gig.
Yeah.
That guy's huge.
Oh, yeah.
He's mere moments from as Kyle nods, because he is also a very tall man. And but
No, he touches the sky.
he does.
It's like it's hard for him to maneuver.
Right, children climb him to find golden eggs. But I didn't know. First of all, I've never been to Venice at night.
I've done that. I do that gig like every 6 months or so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That's the first time I did it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a fun gig.
It's a really fun
It's
gig.
shockingly fun, and it's packed, and he fills it.
Right, he fills it, though. So one of the other comics was like, tonight's not a good night. First of all, my least favorite thing for any comic to say to me when I walk in a room
Right.
is, tonight's not a good night.
Yeah.
The audience sucks. Hey, why don't you let me find that out for myself? I would like to go in hope.
Well, let me guess. You just went up. It couldn't possibly be you. It's
Right.
the audience that
It's
sucks.
the audience. It's the room. It's sometimes they're a little tight. I get it, but
Yeah.
they just do not set anybody. Just
Sure.
Here's
Let
the
me
correct.
ask. I'll gently prod you with my walking stick. Hey, is this audience any good?
Right. If I do want to know such a thing, it's like, how are they?
The other thing I
That's
don't want to
the
hear
question.
is the audience is great. Fuck you. Oh, congratulations, you killed, and now I've got to follow you. I don't want to hear that.
Right. I just want to. Here's what you should say, and this is what I have always said, which
Yeah.
might make me a brown-nosing panderer. But whenever anybody, I was like, oh, they're gonna love you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It just, you know what? It doesn't put the onus on you, and
Yeah.
it doesn't also. Who cares? I mean, it doesn't tell you how I did. It just means they're going to love you. Your stuff is great. It's all going to work out.
I would take it as this audience likes your dumb kind of jokes. They're going to love you.
Wow.
That's how I take that one.
That's interesting. That's
What I like to say is,
you like to twist it around and
Yeah.
turn it into some sort of.
this is a good thing to say, is there's that guy on the left, and then give them someone to concentrate on.
No.
Yes.
You love that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm already finding that guy on the left who's, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned, has a six-pack at home, and he's like, "Why am I here? Why am I here? I have a six-pack."
There's always
at
a
home."
guy on the left like that.
There's always some fucking dude with his
in
arms-
comedy, in life, there's a guy on the left.
with his arms folded,
Yes.
is judging you.
Doesn't like you.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. So there were probably 50 people at the Nerd Melt Wednesday thing that I went to.
That's great for a Wednesday.
It was great, but they
Is that Rory?
yeah, it's Rory
Okay.
and Jay Larson's
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and it was a replacement for Jonah and Kumail's thing.
Yeah.
And they are so aware of what came before them.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, it's not 115 people, standing room only. And so I was like,
Oh.
hey, the 50 people who came to church, why don't you preach to them, right?
Yeah.
And so they're just they're kind of like shy about it. They're just like, hey, we want to make a good show, and you're like, no, this is an amazing show. You have Rory Scovel and
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
Jay Larson already, and Jay wasn't there. It was Joe DeRosa, and so it was already.
I love Joe DeRosa.
Joe DeRosa is a delight.
I love neurotic men who have no reason to be neurotic. That's my favorite. Like, why are you crazy? It makes no sense to me.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that guy.
He's very funny.
It's all
and
working out. He's
yeah.
such a great writer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And but he was super neurotic with no reason. Oh my god. So
Well, that's cool. It's weird. It's weird when you think, oh, those comics never have any problems because they're doing so well, and then
yeah.
to
And
find,
then you're like, no.
yeah,
Everybody has issues.
everyone's panicked inside.
Everybody's panicked.
It's a global panic.
Right, yeah. That's the good news politically, is that the rest of the world seems on fire as well. We're not alone, man. I mean,
Yeah.
granted.
No, when Austria is holding it down, that's when the world is really on fire. When Hitler's home country is the only one that doesn't go, whoa, that's too right.
Right, that's a little too right wing.
Listen, I brushed my hair outside in the parking lot, but I came here unbrushed and I wore my scarf around my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this might be my new thing. Like, I wonder, could I wear a hijab just because I don't want to brush my hair? Could I get on a plane wearing my hijab to argue, that's a way to provoke Trump supporters.
Or
wouldn't they? Because they'd be
conversation.
infuriated.
Right, because you were the blondest,
yes,
whitest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would say, no, it's because my hair is messy.
Right, and I don't want to brush it.
And also,
Have you ever thought of just shaving it?
my hair?
Yeah, just shave it off if you don't want to
No,
brush it.
I know Maria did that once.
Just once.
No,
Okay. Well, why? I just don't brush my hair. I brush my hair with my fingers. I should be alone. I know that. I should.
I don't know what to do with you. Do you shower every day?
I bathe. I only bathe. Me and the Japanese.
take a bath?
I take a bath. I bathe. I bathe like the Japanese.
What do you mean?
The Japanese like to bathe. They don't like to shower.
Oh, okay.
And me and the entire nation of Japan have that in common.
You know,
I also enjoy rice. I love rice.
I like how I was about to tell you a bath story, and you were like, I got to get in this rice comment. I got to get it in.
Got to squeeze in other things I like about Japan so nobody thinks I only like their bathing. What's the bath story?
Okay, so I went to Japan by myself for
and
Christmas.
Ate at 7-Elevens. I do remember
Yes,
that.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But I stayed at I did an Airbnb in this guy's little teeny tiny apartment.
Oh, interesting.
And the bath was shaped in a square. It's not a rectangle, it's a
Right.
square, and it's very tall. So
Yeah.
you get in, and if you fill it all the way up, the bath water's to your neck.
Okay.
And you can punch in exactly the
Temperature?
the Celsius that you want. Once you figure it out. Yeah, but the water comes out instantly. You don't have that cold and then mix and all that
Love
shit.
the Japanese.
Yes.
That's what I want.
It was, and then I was like, I was a little scared because I thought I could drown right now because I'm so happy. I could just slip underwater and die in Japan. And then I'm like, I got to get out of this
Look at the
tub.
headlines. Think of the headlines.
The headline, the steam is getting to me.
Here's what I've heard about Japanese bathing.
Yeah.
Did it also have sort of a? Was there sort of a drain in the side, like outside of the tub? Did the floor have a drain?
I don't remember that
Because
this is a very tiny apartment.
Right. So, you know Steve Tatum? You remember Steve Tatum used to do stand up? You might
think
not
I
have lived
do.
here, or when he did. He was he did a lot of stand up.
Is he related to Tatum O'Neal?
He is not.
Okay.
He is, nor Steve Jobs. He's not related to anybody.
Okay, all right. I just had to get that on the table.
He's for 27 years. That guy was an Imagineer at Universal.
Yeah.
and he did.
He's a what? A Universal?
Imagineer.
What's that?
It's the amusement park engineer. It's
Oh.
essentially a writing job and
okay.
and design job of the rides and stuff.
Okay.
And he did stand up probably late 90s through probably 2005 or 2006 or something like that here. And every day, 5 days a week, he did a political web series. Before web series were every day in his basement, and it was amazing. So much work, and he had a full-time job at Disney as an Imagineer.
Yeah, but because
head
back
of
then it was
R&D.
a shitload of work.
Yeah,
you know,
so much work.
Things didn't upload automatically. You probably had to tape it,
Right.
and then
Digitize it.
Yeah, upload it to iMovie, and then export it, and then export it to use. Oh, what a mess!
What a mess! And then he stopped doing it, and
He might have died from exhaustion.
Right. Well, I think he was exhausted. And so, like, I know that he did it probably for hundreds of episodes. It was insane. And, but he's really funny. He's really smart. And, but I don't know why I'm telling this story.
Yeah.
Just, they retired. They force retired him.
Yeah.
At Disney, but with like a golden parachute and a diamond medallion, whatever kind
Yeah.
of Disney thing. And moments later, Universal Japan said, "Hey, do you want to be in charge of our amusement park in Tokyo?"
Whoa!
And so he's been living in Tokyo for the last year and a half, and they gave him a 3-bedroom apartment
Oh my god!
in Tokyo. And his wife and children are like, "Hey, we're not living in Tokyo. We have lives." And so they are in Glendale. And
Also amongst foreigners,
also
Armenians.
oh, my
Okay.
people. Mary Manofsky is his wife, and she's an
I don't know
actress.
her
and,
either.
well,
Is she related to Manofsky O'Neal?
She's related to Manofsky Carpets. I have
Okay.
no idea who she's related to. Do you know who Manofsky O'Neal is?
No, it was a joke off of Tatum O'Neal, which is
Oh.
also a retarded question.
Good joke.
And you got the thumbs up from Kyle, so
Thank
I was like,
you.
maybe it meant something. Turns out it did not. Turns out it meant nothing. So anyway, whatever. So, But the whole fucking point of this is a fascinating story. I'm going to keep going with it.
Dude, we got 2 hours. You think I'm going to cut you off at all? This is your dream
This is
podcast.
my
I'm praying for
dream.
you to keep going.
Exactly. Chatty Magoo.
How do you
Let's
spell
it.
Minovsky? Is it like Mnuchin? Is it like the Treasury pick?
In other news, what I'm told is the Japanese sort of hose off before they get in the tub.
Oh.
That's what I was told. I do
Well, you're
not.
supposed to do that before you get in a public pool. Is to shower.
Always. Yeah, for sure. And when you go to the spa or whatever, it's public bathing. Yeah, please take a layer of cells off and then get into the public pool. So, but
Yeah, you want the urination in the pool to hit your fresh cells, not the old cells.
exactly, it's going to build an immune system.
Okay, so I was listening to. Is there a thing that happens when people get older where they start to slur their words a little bit?
Yeah.
How can we make sure that doesn't happen?
No
And
shit.
is it already happening to me? That's what I'm worried about.
Are you? I'm worried. This is a good one. So, do you find yourself? Is that you genuinely? You think
Well,
you're?
I was
slurring a little
listening
bit?
to first of all NPR. Terry Gross has it a little bit, and
Yeah.
she didn't before.
Right. It used to
And-
be crisper.
Yes, and Carrie Fisher, I heard her on an interview, and she has a slur as well, like a little
My
bit
dad
like that.
has it a little bit, just
And
because
What? Why? Why does that happen?
motor skills. I don't know.
Is something happening to our tongues, or?
It's a muscle. I mean, I don't know.
But we're using it all the time.
I'm using it
Terry
all the
Gross
time.
uses it all the time.
Right.
So what is that? Can you go to a speech therapist and
Email
stop
me,
it?
Jackie@JackieCation.com if you've got a way to somehow, or tweet at us.
Like my mom, I understand.
You're Lori Kilmartin, by the way.
Yeah.
We never said our
Oh,
names.
hi, I'm Lori Kilmartin.
I'm Jackie Cation. Welcome to the Jackie and Lori Show. But I
But if
don't know
people
how to
finally logged off, I finally know who they are. Now I can stop listening to fucking Minovsky's Carpets in Glendale or whatever this is.
sponsorship. No, I don't know what that is, but I fear it as well
Yeah.
because this is all I've got. I
Yes.
have scratchy throat syndrome.
Scratchy's great. I love Scratchy.
No, but it actually hurts.
Oh.
So I'm not pleased about it. I'm like,
I don't
do
care
I
about
have-
your pain. I like the sound.
What about polyps? Do I have polyps? Remember Jen Kirkman's thing?
Yes, and Dana Gould had them too, right?
Did he?
I think he did. Yeah, that's very public, right?
Boo.
Okay.
Boo, I say.
Yeah.
I have like I do two voices, and they have.
Your characters.
like
your
the-
characters are
Yeah,
killing
my
your
character work. My character work has been reduced to 1.5 characters. It's Andy's actually quite pleased about it because he's like, "Hey, the voice you do of me, it sounds much more masculine than it used to." I don't know, but yeah, I'm worried about my throat. I'm worried about.
I'm worried about all those things that are, well, especially the voice.
Yeah, got to be able to talk.
And,
What do I want to do? Written word?
And I don't want to sound.
Bullshit.
I don't want to sound old.
I know.
Like I don't mind saying I'm old and writing, but I don't want. I don't know. I just don't want that.
Yeah.
Unless
I'm
you're
with
like
you.
80 and then it's cool, then it's acceptable.
Right.
You
There
know?
has to be a hump you got to get over.
There's like this.
Like
this
when do we get
middle-
to give up?
Yes. When do we get to be elderly?
I don't know. When do we get to be elderly?
Do we still have to be as hot as possible when we're 75?
That I have
Or
seen
is the-
hot 75-year-olds
Me
in this
too.
town.
So, so we're going up on stage, say, when we're 75 years old,
Right.
You know, are we? I don't know what we're like. Are we going to be really elderly looking, or frail, or vigorous? Do we give a shit? Do we care if we? I don't
Right.
want to be like, not being able to see the steps, but maybe that's just inevitable.
Well, I can't see the steps, but I've always been a gazelle. So Jesus, I've always tripped on my way to the stage, and then I constantly.
I'd love to see you leaping off stage. That would be great.
Oh my God, my knees can't handle it. My current thing is I would every like 3 or 4 years, I genuinely think to myself, God, can I just fucking lose 60 pounds?
That's it. That
literally
seems pretty reasonable.
every 3 or 4 years, the rest of it, I'm like, this is what I look like.
Right.
But every 3 or 4 years, I'm like, why do I look like this? And then, of course, I had 2 pancakes, 2 pieces of eggs, and 2 bacon for breakfast. And so why
know what?
wouldn't I look like that?
Other people do that. It's, you know what? It's
But they
fucking
probably
bullshit.
They work out, or they have metabolism. I don't know what they've got going for them, but I also don't want to have I don't want to have my innards removed so that I can be 60
and
pounds
I also
less.
don't want to. I don't want that my precious brain space going to why can't I be thinner?
Right.
Because if it was going to happen, it would have by now.
Right.
You know,
Right,
and I don't want to keep going there. Like I think the last 10 years, especially after my kid was born.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes up a lot of space now, so I almost don't have time to hate myself.
Right.
Because I hate being a mother so much. It's pivoted to.
If that kid wasn't there, boy, there'd be nothing
Thank
good
God
about
I don't
being
have
a
a
mother.
daughter. But I'm much happier, and I still probably look exactly how I'd look if I was angry at myself for being this size or being a 14 or whatever.
Right, or
you
whatever.
know?
Yeah. Yeah,
If only I'd done that earlier, you know?
Right. Why
That's
didn't why didn't I obsess about this when I was 22?
Obsess about not
Oh,
wanting to be thin, you mean?
no, I've never obsessed about it. I literally every 3 to 5 years I give a shit.
Oh, okay.
And
But
then-
it doesn't normally plague you.
No, it doesn't normally. I'm just kind of plugging along, and then someone will say something mean, and sometimes it'll matter, and sometimes it won't.
Right.
But the time it matters, I'm like, oh, I should probably go look into Weight Watchers, and so
You know, when I was on the road and I had nothing to tether me to reality, that's all I thought about, you know? And then,
Right. That
then I
makes
moved to
sense.
New York, and that really is a punch in the face, New York City. Because, I have to make money, and I have to be able to afford an apartment and a place to live and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then a child, whatever room I had left, my kid
right. First
jumped
of all,
into.
New York, everybody's just right in your face.
Yeah.
There's no. At least here in Los Angeles, you can cry in your car.
Yeah,
It's
there's
nice.
no place to
There's
get
downtime.
hazy and dreamy in
Right,
New York. You're
right.
just
You're
you come
constantly
home
on
and you
it.
fucking collapse.
Right.
But
yeah.
the other thing I like, maybe definitely because we're older. You know that what's that guy Milo Yiannopoulos?
Oh, the
So
mean
he-
guy?
Yeah, so he goes after some trans student at a college he was invited to speak at. First of all, why are he and Richard Spencer, why are these motherfuckers getting invitations to speak at colleges? You know, you could have a couple of middle-aged comics named Jackie and Laurie come out and do a fucking show you'd like instead of having
Exactly.
these assholes just rail against minorities. Why is this any college administrator, any college booker, why are they booking these people?
I don't know. It's a question of bookers all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
It's
can
a
apply it
classic.
to 80% of the headliners we see.
Exactly. I look at people's calendars and I'm like,
know.
that guy is fine. He doesn't have more credits than me. Why are you
Right,
booking him?
right.
And he's mean. So why would you
Yes.
book that guy?
Oh, fuck.
Who wants to hang? My favorite bookers are bookers who say, I'll book the comedy I like, which of
Yeah.
course all bookers do, and then they have to not be trouble. That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
They have to-
easy. That's how.
right.
That's 80% of a writing job is not being a pain in the ass to work with.
Right, it's okay to hang around with you at 2 a.m.
Yes,
you don't
yeah.
have a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
and you're not a goddamn diva.
Right,
And
right,
so,
right.
right. So he's like, oh, he was a little irritating to the staff. Guess what? He doesn't come back. You
Yeah.
know, or was just weird to the audience. I mean, if you're weird or hard to work with, it's entirely that. Yeah, it's
Unless
crazy.
you fill the room.
Well,
And
Right, but
filling
then-
the room supersedes all that.
it does, but then you'll notice, like, if you fill the room and the staff doesn't want to talk to you, you're a dick and everyone knows it.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop you from getting rebooked.
That's true, but only at like those giant cavernous comedy clubs.
Jackie, I know you're striving to make life fair right now, but it isn't.
It's my entire purpose in life.
That's
to
why
make
you do
life
comedy. I just ended your career.
right. Oh, success, and I'm out of here. Storm out. I know if I could do it. It's last. Okay, so I have tried this new political bit, and I ask the audience, I've taken to asking the audience. You guys want me to do? My favorite happy bits, or do you want me to try this Trump business?
Of course,
And
they want the Trump business.
They want
right?
the Trump business. And last night, I walked two people on the third show I did last night.
In
And-
Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles at the
Interesting.
Improv, and it seemed like. Well, first of all, the gig was Crazyville.
Yeah.
It was called Nighttime.
Yeah.
And it was at the Improv at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and it's once a
Is that
month. I think.
Stephen Glickman's?
That's it.
Yeah.
Stephen
okay.
Glickman's.
It's
talk
a talk show.
showy with
Yeah,
a
it's,
band.
it's fun. Yeah.
Well, it should be fun. Last
Oh,
night it was
shit.
a mess.
Really?
And it was a hilarious mess
Yeah.
because first of all, Tony
Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe, nice, well played.
Well, you texted me last
good.
night at
So
3 in the morning.
That's right. Yes, I was like, this is a show that will not end.
I'm like,
It's a
this
show-
is Donald Trump or it's Jackie Cation.
It's a show that will not end. It goes on and on, my friends. Anyway, so he got up and he reamed the show hardcore. And
Yeah.
me and Eddie Pepitone are in the back. And Tony he's a roast guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was a roast guy.
I think I've just met him once.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I met him once. And he reamed the show. He like eviscerated and ripped the spine out of Glickman. And it was hilarious.
That's my favorite thing.
And he did such a good job with it. And Glickman knew it was coming because that's why you booked
Yeah,
Tony.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And so, but it was so great. And Eddie and I didn't know him very well.
Yeah.
We'd met him, but we were like,
So he goes up first,
Yeah.
shreds the show that you're about to perform on.
yes.
Yeah.
And he sets the tone where
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
like, plus it's being sponsored by Fire Whiskey. So everybody is getting free shots of cinnamon whiskey. So it's 10 o'clock. It's a 10:30 show. It started at like 10:45. 11 o'clock. And there's sketches and there's music and
Yeah.
there's banter and it's just a disaster.
Yeah.
And there's 47 people. That's not true. There was probably 100 people in there.
Yeah.
But it was the biggest show of the night.
Yeah.
I did the Virgil and then I did the Steve Allen and then I did the Improv.
Oh, nice.
So the Improv had the most people, but they
Ascending
were,
audience attendees.
exactly,
Yes.
and yet. The audience, Pepitone got up and he was like, "You guys are troglodytes, and I fucking hate you." And he was like, "Tony covered this, but let me go there anyway." And it was awesome. And so I got up and I was like, "Hey, let me tell you about my second DUI." And so
They carried you off.
oh my god! And
Hero.
And then I talked to, and then I did the political, and I had tried the political bit. And remember, I texted you. I was like, "Hey, I think I had a breakthrough."
Oh, yeah.
On the dad stuff and the political bit.
Yes.
And you're like, "Yay, breakthrough!"
And then I went to bed.
And then you went to bed, and I did this bit again. I'm like, "Breakthrough gone. Breakthrough completely gone.
What
completely."
happened? Wait, you had a breakthrough at the Steve Allen?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it
And then it did
it was fixed.
It was
the
yeah.
hole in the floor was
Exactly.
fixed at the Improv.
I was
oh, no.
propped up and shut out again at
What
the Improv.
happened? Well, it could be that show. You can't discount that.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've done that bit now 6 times.
Yeah.
And it is like all of my bits.
Yeah.
12 minutes. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be?
I'm glad they're not an hour. I mean,
Right. 1 bit, 1 hour. And so I've been trying to tighten it up and try to, adjust it.
Yeah.
It would with these long bits, here's what would help.
Right.
If I typed them out.
Yeah.
And kind of line vetoed the fuck out of them. But I
you don't
not
have line veto. Congress hasn't given it to you.
Right. I have line veto in my own life. Feel free to Google line veto. Okay. So, so who the fuck knows where that bit's going to go? But I've decided for the taping, which is at the end of this month, to just fuck it. I'm going to do, because I have 35 minutes that's tight. I'm proud of. It's going to be amazing. I got another 15 to 20 that is what it is.
Right.
And so I'm going to record 5 shows and I'm going to get an album out of it. And, and that 15 to 20 should work at one of those shows.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sweat.
I like it. It's bold.
It's bold. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm just going to go with it.
You're pointing to the audience and saying, "I'm hitting a homer out there." I'm
That's it.
Center field.
Tick.
Is that
And,
the correct metaphor?
I don't know. Remember last week with the sports metaphor,
know.
so we couldn't face. My favorite is we closed with, "Why would I skinny dip? I'm wearing a Speedo. You didn't want to slow down your time."
Oh yeah. Why do you listen to this podcast?
I don't.
Okay.
I have a memory, a little bit of a memory of what's left. It's
Well, you forwarded me that article about people, comics and Trump that Rolling Stone had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That I didn't know any of them. I knew like
a
two
couple of them.
You knew, but more. It was more New York based.
It was more New York comics, but yeah.
Who
I
said
mean, but
comics
it's
are
always
worried?
been that way. If you mention a politician by name, you're going to have trouble.
Right. People are going to be worried.
Yeah.
And
If
some
you-
people are going to be mad.
You can talk about gun control. I think, in my experience, well, I don't hit things on the head. But I talk about having a Hispanic son. I think you can guess which side of the immigration thing I'm
Issue,
for. I want
yeah.
them out. I want all Hispanics out. My son is the first. No, but you know what I mean.
Get
like
a job.
However you talk about it, people can get a sense of
Of your politics.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, my dad.
without you going fuck Trump.
Right. Right.
But
You
I
don't-
understand wanting to say that. But if you're going to help your cause if you have really good jokes, and then
Oh.
you just go, look, these are great jokes.
Right.
Sorry they don't fall on your side of things.
Exactly.
I don't know. It depends what you want to do as a comic. Do you want to walk part of the room?
Right. Well, no.
Some people
and
do.
Some people do.
They get off on that energy.
I do not.
I don't either. But
yeah.
I
like my stuff has always been like you. It's sociopolitical, right?
yeah.
Where
oh
I
my
talk-
God, I had no idea. Hold on, let me put my
And put your scarf back on.
hijab on.
I'm sociopolitical, but it's not on purpose. It's just like I'm discussing, like you're discussing your son.
Yeah.
So it happens to be a human issue.
Right, right,
So
yes.
I'm discussing, this sort of Trump chunk or this. I'm calling it the genocide chunk.
Yeah.
I don't.
less threatening than Trump chunk.
I think so. I think people want to talk more about genocide than Trump, and but I think that it's, because Trump doesn't care, but and he doesn't want the job, but he's surrounding himself by people who have always
definitely
wanted
want that
They
job,
want
yeah.
that job, and they want that job to actually have final solutions to problems that they have self-esteem issues about.
Yeah.
So fuck those people. So but what I have essentially a gun control bit, but it's
Right,
not
right.
about guns. And I don't say, hey, it's a gun control bit like a maroon.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should say, hey, I'm gonna, and that's exactly what I've been doing because I'm so nervous about the genocide chunk. I've said, hey, I got a Trump bit. You guys, you want to hear it? Perhaps rethink that, Cation. There you go. Note to self.
But when you start Trump and then you pivot to genocide, that's quite an emotional leap.
It's called a comedic twist.
Yeah, I mean, like our comic of the week. Should we do it?
Yeah. Are we at 30? What do you think?
We are.
All right. Perfect.
Sweet. An hour and a half to go. And I have 2 bullet points
Oh my God.
we haven't gotten to.
All right. Well,
Alicia Cooper,
Alicia Cooper.
very funny.
Coop. She's
Yes.
awesome.
I just saw her at Flappers. We were on a show this week together.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I've been trying to get her on the Dork Forest for about a year.
oh yeah,
Hasn't happened.
she's busy.
And she is hilarious.
Yeah.
What did you find her Twitter handle, Kyle?
Yeah, she is at Alicia Cooper.
At Alicia. Yeah, but yeah,
With
how,
an I.
Good
why
for
are
her.
there so many ways to spell Alicia? I
Well,
can't take it anymore.
ALYCIACOOPER.
Okay.
And that's her deal. I went with her. It was probably 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
With Felicia. Nope. April Macy and Alicia Cooper. And
Wait,
Marcus
you
Mason.
almost said Felicia Michaels.
I did.
So you have a slot in your head for hot white female comics.
I
and
clearly
April
do.
Macy and Felicia are there.
They are there. I'm a jackass.
I'm not there, I noticed. You don't put me there.
It's true. You're both super foxy and super smart and get no respect.
Foxy, old, and unrespected.
Except for not that old with April. And last time I called Kira old. This time you're calling April old. Good for us.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I meant you and me.
Oh, me and you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
April's, I don't know how old she is. She looks
12,
great.
13.
Anyway.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And so
She's one of the ageless ones.
oh my God. And she is really smart and really funny, but she's also really dirty.
Yeah.
And super hot. So she gets no respect. But let's talk about
Yeah,
Alicia
if
Cooper.
you are female and you're dirty, that's you're going to run into that. It's,
Right, you better just be suburban good looking. That's my theory on it.
It's really shitty.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's not okay.
Sometimes, hey, I like dirty jokes too. You
Right.
know, sometimes you want to hear that too.
Yeah.
But women get dinged way harder than guys do for being dirty.
So hard.
It's
so
it-
fucking hard.
yeah.
Alice Wetterland last night
Yeah.
did the cleanest oral sex joke. It was so funny. And it was clean but dirty.
Yeah.
But sex but not.
Yeah.
But political-ish. Not really. Like socio-political, like we
Yeah.
were just talking about. And it was just this amazing bit about how just some guy, she was trying to, she doesn't have a boyfriend, so this guy is performing oral sex on her, and she's trying to give him a little direction.
Hey, that's the only way we get oral sex is if we don't have boyfriends. That's the female condition right there.
Silence. And but it's crazy. But Alicia Cooper and April Macy and I we went to Africa with Vargas Mason. We were
Wow.
supposed to go to Afghanistan, but they killed bin Laden. So I don't know when that was. 4 years
You guys
ago?
were going to entertain bin Laden?
We were going to entertain the troops. In
Oh, I
Afghanistan.
thought they
and they killed
Sorry.
bin Laden.
Sorry,
who
your
books
audience
that?
was murdered.
Who books that cave that he was supposed to be in Pakistan? Except he wasn't. He was just in town. They killed bin Laden 2 weeks before we were supposed to go.
Yeah.
And so they said, hey, you're not going to go to Afghanistan. And I was like, good. I don't want to go to Afghanistan now.
Yeah.
And they said, you're going to go somewhere else. And they wouldn't tell us where we were going. They're like, you're still going to go.
That doesn't seem wise. I mean,
Right. I was like, well, what if I don't want
this
to go?
is
'Cause
USO or
Yeah,
Department of Defense?
Entertainment. There's USO, and then there's the entertainment, the Armed Forces Entertainment. AFE.
Okay.
It pays less.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and it's larger venues. It means front of the house.
Yeah.
It means front of the front lines.
Okay.
Like I did it with Scott. You
Yeah.
remember Scott
Yes, from Houston.
from Houston?
Kennedy.
And Scott Kennedy.
Yeah.
We did.
Rest in peace.
Rest
Very
in
funny
peace.
guy.
Very funny guy.
Super
And
nice. Great
went,
guy.
Went to Iraq 52,
Yeah.
6,700 times.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did like forward operating bases and whatever JSS stands for.
Yeah.
And this one was with Vargas Mason, Alicia Cooper, and April Macy. And Vargas got hurt in Djibouti in Africa, day 2. And so he said,
Where's Djibouti?
Djibouti's in northern Africa. It's in between Ethiopia and
What country is it in?
it's its own country. It's like a city.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's a city state. It's like the Vatican, and it's right on the
Okay.
on the sea, and hilarious. I mean, it was so funny because we go and they're like, hey, we usually put the talent up at this amazing infinity pool into the sea, the whatever sea that is, the Red
Wow.
Sea or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so they take us to this amazing hotel. They're like, but you're not staying here. It's full. And then they took us to trailers, clues, containerized living units. And they were just trailers. And April and I shared a trailer. It was genuinely like 121 degrees
Oh my
outside.
God.
But they were air
But it was
conditioned,
just
of
like
course.
120 in the trailer.
Right. And so Vargas gets hurt. And so Alicia and April and I, he's like, do you guys want to keep going? We don't get paid unless you keep going. And so
my
we
God.
kept going. The three of us, no dude with us at all. You should have a dude when you travel around the Middle East. I
Yes.
recommend.
Yeah.
Just that my joke is, and I warn you, just is that you need a
Thank
dude.
you. That's how you do it, by the way, comedians. Don't slip your fucking material into a conversation.
Is you need a dude in front of you to clear brush with his dick.
That's right. That's how you do it. First of all, you apologize for the joke you're about to tell, and then you tell it, and don't make eye contact when you tell it. That's
Right,
how
look
it gets
down,
done.
Look down, and then just tell it, and then hope for a laugh from your fellow comedian.
Who's already poised to not laugh. Oh, good. I can't wait to stare at you after you unload this one on me.
Oh, my fucking buddy Jim Wooster does that all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, because I warn him, because I'm a polite comic, and then he goes, I see what you did.
Oh, I hate that one. I hate that one on Twitter. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That's a block more than I hope you get raped. At least the rape.
I will block you.
Yeah, at least the pro rape guy's trying to engage me. But
Right.
to try to break down my comedy.
Right.
Fuck you.
So Alicia Cooper and April Macy and myself are traveling around the Middle East, and Vargas says to me, hey, I told the Armed Forces Entertainment that this was a PG show. Can you get those guys?
Because that's what they want. That's what troops
soldiers want. Yeah, they want to hear a lot of
overseas. They want clean material.
Please do your chunk on dorm refrigerators. Anyway, so, and he said, "Is there any way do you think you could talk those guys into?" And I was like, "No, there isn't. There's nothing I can do about their acts." And Alicia Cooper is so fucking funny.
She is. Oh,
And-
she has a really funny Trump chunk.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, that I had because that's the other thing I'm worried about with Trump is like, what
Overlap?
can you do that hasn't been done on Twitter 3,000 times? Like, it's almost impossible to. It's so hard to write monologue jokes now because first
else
of all,
to write about?
His stories start crazy. They don't start at a normal place.
Right. So how do you make it?
How do you make it
Where's
even
the
crazier?
twist?
There's anything you say that is with a normal politician would be the joke thing they say is like that's plausible that Trump would say that.
Right.
There's
Did
no
he?
place for people that think it's a boon. It's really not. It's
Yeah.
it's very
Wow,
difficult
that's
because
crazy.
he's
Yeah, 'cause
already
he's
nuts.
already there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your job is twice
It got
as hard.
harder, not
Yeah,
easier.
not
you know?
easier.
And so I find just in general with Trump, what's your angle going to be that's different from so many late night show hosts and all of Twitter? But Alicia found a different angle that I really liked that I have already forgotten.
Right.
So, but I don't want to be
But
doing
she's
her
stuck-
bits on stage
Right,
anyway.
you can't talk about whatever
I mean, doing
it was
her
anyway.
bits here. So yeah, go see her.
Yeah,
That's all.
find Alicia Cooper.
She's really funny.
She's great. My favorite thing that happened was we were in Oman.
Yeah.
We had 2 layovers, 5-hour layovers at the Oman airport, whatever town that is in
Mm-hmm.
Oman that has an airport. And the first time, we're sitting in between the Cinnabon and the Dairy Queen
Yeah.
in Oman
Sure.
at the airport. And
Everyone loves Cinnabon.
why wouldn't they? Everyone's addicted to sugar.
We're exporting
Worldwide.
diabetes. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't forget to limp. And so that there's Wi-Fi, and Alicia Cooper's main interest in life is Wi-Fi. She would like there to be Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And we stayed in these weird tents in Oman too, and she was like, "But look at the Wi-Fi." It was like
That is pretty awesome to have a tent with Wi-Fi.
It was the fanciest freaking tent in the world.
Yeah.
That-
Was it a
that-
yurt?
It was not a yurt.
Okay.
It was a U.S. It was a made in China but U.S. troop fancy pants tent.
Okay.
And so, but at the airport there was free Wi-Fi if you had a local cell phone number. So she just brazenly goes up to like a soldier, an Omanian soldier.
Oh,
and goes-
really?
yeah, and goes, "Hey, do you have your cell phone?" And he said, "Yes." And she's like, "Can I get the cell phone number so that I can get on Wi-Fi?" And the first day, the guy gave it to her. And the second day, she went up to it was a different soldier. And he was like, no, you can't have my fucking...
It seems like a breach of security.
Any number of problems there. But, like if she had been looking at porn, but she wasn't. She just wanted to talk to her mom.
Now we know why Oman isn't a world power.
Because their soldiers are willing to give up their cell phone numbers.
Can I have a military secret? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is not that's not a it's just Verizon account. How can it possibly be a military secret? Anyway, so
You're so
she
naive.
is great. I am naive.
Yes,
Did you
check
see
her
Star
out.
Wars?
No. Yeah, I saw Star Wars.
Opening night, you went. Anyway, so it's not a children's movie. Don't take the boy.
Oh, okay. Well, you might like it. But wait, let's go back to Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
Wait,
Sorry.
Did
What?
you?
We're having a head shake argument over here.
Do you think it's okay for kids?
If I were like an 11-year-old boy, that would be the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Okay. Kyle says if you're an 11-year-old boy, your boy is 10.
he's 10.
No,
Right.
It's his jam.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I say, okay. Fair enough. Maybe.
Either way, I'll tell his father to take him to it.
I love the batting of the eyelashes
Thank
at the end
you.
of that.
I sell it even on a podcast. I'll fucking sell it. All right. I never stop being professional.
Oh my God, that's so true. Anyway, what do you got about Milo?
Oh, no.
What's his
I just
fuck?
mean he's coming after this trans student, like
Oh,
making
right.
fun of the transition.
Yeah.
And she dropped out of college. She was 19 or 20.
Well, hothouse flower. No, how
But
supportive am I?
When you're
No.
19 or 20,
Yeah.
you are a hothouse flower.
Yeah, and you completely are.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you're going through all that,
Yeah.
probably even more so.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Why not?
It's a giant life change,
Why
obviously.
don't you come after us old grizzled bitches instead? Because we don't give a fuck.
And we will give his fucking back as good as we get.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know that's why he doesn't do it? Is because you try to make fun of me, I will eviscerate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
And I
you,
won't
Milo.
cry and I won't care. Like, what can you call me that I don't call myself every morning when I look in the mirror?
Right. Right. That guy Tony last night, he asked for the show just went on. He finished his set.
Yeah.
He was supposed to do panel. Dom Herrera was there as well. Dom Herrera went before Tony. And I introduced myself. This was actually a
I love Dom Herrera.
I felt vindicated because Dom Herrera and I have met at least a dozen times.
And he doesn't know who you are?
He doesn't know who I am. And that's fine. Because I don't know who anybody is. And I
Right.
feel
Dom
better.
is our future.
He's us. He's
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
I was like, and I have no problem with that. And I was like, yes, Dom Herrera doesn't fucking remember me. I've met him a dozen times in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and so and we've had long conversations.
But he's very nice.
He's super nice.
He might know that about himself and just go,
I know that about myself.
Right, right.
Yeah. So and I so fucking cut me some slack. Just tell me who the fuck you are. Anyway,
Yeah.
so as I always like to say,
wasn't that our first
it was one of the
podcast?
first episodes
We
where
demanded
that people have to
an
just
ID.
repeat
Hold
their
up a photo ID.
Please, hello, my name is.
Pretend I'm a bouncer at a comedy club. Give me your driver's license and let me look at it with a
Yeah,
flashlight.
don't just say we're the comics and get in.
I got a hi, do you remember me this week? I was like, yeah, kinda.
Right, right.
I do. I know, but I don't know where. And yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but he went up and then the Tony guy went up and then Dom sat on the couch and Steve was asking him like crazy, like, what's your favorite egg sandwich or some fucking thing, or your cookie or your ice cream?
Something that could not possibly lead into a bit, no matter what.
Ever.
Right.
And Dom was like, what is happening on this show? And Dom started it with this show is the Crazyville. And then Tony got up and berated the fact that Steve no preparation.
Yeah.
For a show that clearly has a lot of preparation. and then, so at the end of his set,
Was Steven wearing a white suit?
Stephen was wearing a Santa suit.
That's 100% preparation.
No, but not preparation of any of the questions.
You
asked
don't
someone
need
in
to
the
do that.
audience I don't care. It's just the show went on. It was the show that would not end.
Right.
And
That's how I describe our podcast every day.
And but at the end of it, Steve was like, "I'm going to ask 10 people to come on stage, and I want you to roast each of them.
Yeah.
One roast of each person." And 10 people. First of all,
That's a lot of
too many people.
ugly shirt jokes.
That was what Tony said. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to.
Yeah.
My favorite one is he said, "Look at this low rent M&M dude. Sir, do you rap?" That was my favorite line, and it was just okay.
Wait, you have to insult 10 audience members
Right,
and then
and-
keep performing.
Right, and then there was a pretty woman that he said, "You're hot, but why are your eyes too far apart?" Or
What the fuck?
And then there was a woman who was not as pretty who was like, "Oh, well, you're super ugly." And
God.
what behind the camera work do you do? And which was kind of funny.
That is
And then
funny.
she said, "I'm a director," and he was like, "I was right." And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm still a director." Which she was like us. She was like, "You can't fucking say anything
Yes.
to me that hasn't already been said."
But I'm worried about eyes far apart, lady.
Yeah,
Come on, man. It's not like you can change that.
Right, there's nothing. Yeah, she's right, and she was a lot younger.
Oh, no.
But anyone who got in line
Yeah.
to get roasted
Oh, right.
was like they knew that they were going to make some sort of
All right.
comment, and whatever. But it went on for like another 10 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, "Clock eater, fucking wrap it up." And then Eddie went up, and Eddie just did 5 fake commercials of Fireball whiskey. He just did one horrible,
Yeah.
hilarious, like, "You people are idiots for drinking this shit." It was pretty great. That's all I've got on last night's
Your story about the clock eater became itself a clock eater.
right. And where are we at? How are we doing?
48.
And we only have 10 minutes left.
All right.
Aren't you glad you started the podcast with me a year ago?
Wait a minute. Today, this is coming out on the 19 plus 7 means this will be out on the 26th. Guess what?
Episode's out tomorrow.
Oh, never mind. All right, I won't berate you yet. Hold on, I'll berate you on the next one. Okay.
Tune in.
So I what's great about New York, one thing about doing stand-up in New York is you can listen to your sets on the train on your way to your show, right? That's what I always do. I usually have a 45-minute commute on the A, someplace because I'm coming from 145th, right? And I listen, I make little notes, and then that's all fresh in my head for that first spot, and I can sort of work on stuff all night if I'm trying to. Well, in LA, sometimes I listen to a set if I know where I'm going. If I'm going to an established comedy club with a route I'm sure of. But I've been doing a lot of sets recently in these places I've never been to. These kind of pop-up comedy shows and, bar or
Restaurants.
a studio or, whatever. So I have to use the GPS.
Yeah.
And you can't, Apple's recording app doesn't let you listen in the background. You got to be completely dedicated to it.
It's so,
and I tried to save it to Dropbox so that I could listen as a separate MP3, but it's not working.
It doesn't work either. Well,
I don't know.
I would love, because I drive so much around LA, I would love to listen to my set, but I need the GPS.
Yeah.
And that is somebody fucking fix that.
I got a trick for you guys.
You got a trick?
After the show, yeah.
Okay.
Can you give it to us now?
Sure. Yeah,
VLC?
is a media player. That
Yeah.
You can export your MP3s from audio recorder into VLC, and that can play in the background while you do your GPS.
It's so nice to have a young person around.
I want that edited out.
That might be the name of the show.
No, Jackie, you are not allowed to talk like that.
It was a joke. It was
Not even a joke.
Not even as a joke. Fine. I'll also.
We're young. We're virile.
We'll also edit out my use of the N-word and other racial slurs that I also. You're like, that's not funny. Still not funny, Cation.
I'd rather you use a racial slur than rope me in on your grandma riff about yourself.
Noted. Going forward. I could. You know what? There wasn't a power on the earth that could have stopped me from making that joke.
It's true.
And too freaking funny.
It's like a tick with you.
It's a comedy. I said the thing. I stand by it. You can.
Why is it called VLC? Why doesn't it have a name that makes sense?
It means something.
It probably is an acronym.
Video lovers cunts.
Voice.
That's a terrible name
Voice.
for
It probably is a word. Voice. I'm going to go with the fact that it stands for voice something because it's an audio thing.
Well, it's a video too, so I think it is video something.
Ooh.
It does both.
I am shamed.
All file formats.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
that's good. Hey, I want to. What else did I do this week? Oh, I opened.
Hold
mine
on, you're
early.
very preoccupied
I dropped the
by
cap.
the water cap you dropped in this otherwise pristine studio full of garbage and recycling that gets emptied out once every 4 months.
We are surrounded by squalor. We are. This, by the way, is the creme de la creme of podcasting.
It really is.
People dream of being on the Nerdist channel.
Yeah.
And here we are. just surrounded by dog
But they don't
beds
dream
and-
of being in this studio.
No.
Their dream is being on the channel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you saying? What was so important that you had to stop?
I don't know. That's my mind is going. Is that anything? I can't remember what I was talking about. Any idea? Nope.
VLC, video.
We'll see.
Oh, Charles Nelson Riley.
There
Of course, that makes complete and no sense whatsoever.
Well,
How
because
did-
VLC is an audio that you can listen to. I want to rip the audio off of this DVD that I have.
Yeah.
And which made me reminded me that I watched Charles Nelson Riley's one man show that I got for Christmas from my brother this week. And
Wait, did he do it a long time ago? When did he die?
2004 is when they talked him into doing a live and they recorded it.
No.
Yeah, he died in like 2006 or 2009 maybe. But it's amazing. First of all, his family makes the rest of our families look like
I
the fucking
can imagine.
beavers. Yeah, the beaver cleavers. And the beavers? Anyway, but they make them look like pussy. Where the rest of us are pussies compared to Charles Nelson Riley.
I went to the animal, you went to the vagina, mentally in my head. That's
that'll
just an
happen.
interesting separation between us.
Right. As I get older, I go bluer. It turns out I'm going more blue.
Maybe you'll be able to jump into that brain slot you have for Felicia in April.
When will I be Super Fox, who nobody respects? When will that happen?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't say nobody respects. I say it's harder to get respect when you're deliberately dirty.
I
And
have
it's
seen-
not fair
I have seen
whatsoever.
people mistreat both Felicia and
Yes.
April.
Yeah.
And I want to freaking choke those people because those women work so hard at stand-up comedy,
Yes.
and they're really good
And they're great
comics.
joke writers.
And they're great joke writers. And fuck you. Because it's not, you're intimidated because they're really good looking.
Yeah.
You know, they do sit-ups or some fucking thing, and you give them shit for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so,
Okay.
anyway.
But what were we saying
What am I,
before
their
that?
older brother?
I don't know. You're on a tear.
I'm on a tear. But Charles Nelson Riley's one-man show
Yeah.
is outstanding. And it's the perfect year, because it was from 98 to, from 98 to 2002, when I think solo shows were really, really popular.
Right.
Some of them were so bad.
Right.
There was like, you have cancer, you are dying of emphysema.
Whoa, easy. Someone's got a special coming out in a couple days. What the fuck?
When is it coming out?
Well, I was going to berate people on the next one, on the 29th, because
that's
the
right.
next one will be the one right before it comes out. So hold on, guys. You'll be
Right.
shit on in a few days.
Just 6 minutes from now. And but they weren't funny. Like yours is the 45 jokes about my dead dad is the perfect example of how it should be done.
Hold on, let me take off my hijab so I can hear this better. Thank you.
Keep talking. And and his was so great because it's so dark.
Yeah.
But it's also so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's a little self-referential when it needs to be. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's that kind of show."
Is it it's not on Netflix? It's
I don't know where I got it I got a DVD. And then our DVD player died, which was our
they all should die. What's the point of them anymore?
It's a 15-year-old PS3, which means guess who's getting a PS4? Hello.
I don't know what you're saying.
Nerdist channel. Anyway, but it was his family is Banana Land. He's so gay in 1950 and nobody likes it. And he's like, well, I don't know how to not be gay. So, and he was so open about it forever.
Wow.
Yeah. In 73, somebody tried to blackmail him. This is not in the show. This is a separate story.
Yeah.
In 73, somebody tried to blackmail him and said, hey, we're going to tell everyone you're gay. And he genuinely said, who do you think doesn't know that I'm gay? But the greatest thing was the list of people that were in his acting class, none of whom I can remember right now, but it was a who's who of the Academy Awards.
What about so first of all, Charles Nelson Riley. I mean, back then they were like confirmed bachelors, right?
Oh, right. They just
it was
couldn't
a
find
thing.
it.
It was hushed. It was talked
Right.
about, right? Did you see that article about have you ever seen The Last Tango in Paris?
Not.
I haven't seen it either. And I guess there's a scene that kind of made it famous where the Maria Schneider,
Okay.
she was like an 18 or 19-year-old German actress at the time.
Okay.
It was directed by, is it Bertolucci? Okay. And Marlon Brando's in it. And it was like at the time hailed as like, pushing the sexual boundaries.
Okay.
Which it was because Bertolucci admitted that they didn't tell her ahead of time they were going to rape her.
I did see
Yes.
that art with a stick of butter or some fucking
I don't
thing?
know what the scene is. I don't know if they use butter to rape her or I don't know what it is.
No, I read that article.
Oh, you
It was a
did?
stick of butter because I was like, oh, guess who's never watching that movie?
Yeah.
This one. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, they couldn't, like, literally, they're like, well, it's going to be this method. It's going to be real. And you're like, Yeah, that's really sexual assault.
Yeah, that's like a
That's
snuff film.
yeah. Please, we'd like to see some acting.
But the other thing is she said that for years, and everyone's like,
Right.
And then she had a kind of like a shitty life because she got all that attention for that, and no one took her seriously.
Right.
And then she died. You know.
And now-
only now, when the male director, is admitting it, everyone's like, "This is ridiculous."
Right. Why did you do that? Well, because it's so weird. Is the realization that men have to come to? They're like, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to rape people.
I know.
I'm not. It's
And how we as a culture are used to
just
not,
making it,
but
making
not
it okay.
believing women are just going, "Oh, you probably took it wrong," or
Right. And society has progressed so far, you know, and it's cool. And we can look back and go, well, it was a different time, and people didn't really. And now all these realizations, and decent men are like, dun dun dun.
It's been an hour.
I know, but I have to finish this sentence.
No, can you finish it on the next podcast? Start the next podcast.
So rude. That's so rude to 1,000 people that are listening. The 107 people that give a shit.
Okay.
Is there decent men who are like, oh shit, and they genuinely, you don't know. You know, they're decent men who are like, oh shit, now I know that I'm not supposed to be a monster.
Yeah.
Or the definition of a monster has actually been defined. So, and
Yeah.
I think that that's so great, which is why Trump's nightmare Nazi Klan cabinet, if they want to roll us back, I don't know if it's possible. But they're going to do their damnedest to do it.
You can't roll back Ellen. You can't roll back gay. You know, like you can't roll back culturally what
right.
the majority of this country finds
Well, they're
acceptable.
handing out hangers in Texas, and so it's bullshit. But I hope you're right.
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah, for abortion.
Yeah. But I mean, they aren't literally.
No.
I mean, a judge did not. They did try to make a law that
20
women would
weeks.
have to have a funeral for a miscarriage.
Yeah. That was Pence.
No, they were trying that in Texas too,
Oh, right.
and a judge turned it around.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, that's great.
okay.
Anyway. On this cheerful note, I'm going up a bunch this week before Christmas. And are you going up a bunch?
I'm going up. Yes, tonight through the 23rd. I'm
Yeah.
going up, and then I have a couple Christmas days off, and then I really hit hard in New York.
Awesome.
The 26th
Yeah.
through the 2nd.
And I'm doing my new album at Acme, and then I'm going to Madison Comedy on State, where I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do on stage, and
Yay.
maybe stuff from the new album. Definitely the 20 I like, and so anyway,
No, I predict Madison on State is where you come up with 15 new tags on a bit that
your word.
that is now set in stone the week before.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Now that it's on an album, now you start tagging it, calling it back, knitting it
I've
all
been-
together. You know that's going to happen.
You're a witch. You're cursing me.
Because I can see the future. All right, bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.